I can treat a migraine when it strikes and prevent migraine attacks all in one.
Don't take if allergic to Nurtec. Allergic reactions can occur even days after using. Most common side effects were nausea, indigestion, and stomach pain.
Ask about Nurtec ODT.
A dad with his child.
Vicks VapoStick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks vapors. Easy to apply for the whole family. Vicks VapoStick. And try Vicks Vapo Shower for steamy Vicks vapors.
Save on gifts they'll love at Kohl's. Get up to 50% off Cuddle Duds bedding, a Ninja Blast portable blender, $59.99, and 30% off toys. Then take 20% off some of your gifts and earn Kohl's cash. Kohl's.
When game time runs into dinner time, a hero must rise. Like DiGiorno Rising Crust Pizza. Because delicious fresh baked taste straight from your oven always wins. It's not delivery, it's DiGiorno.
The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. Weeknights on CBS.
CBS Tuesday. It's The Fools. #1 new series.
It has got a certain ring to it.
A new NCIS Sydney, Tuesday, 8/7 Central on CBS.
The FBI's.
We just caught a case.
Heading your way.
New seasons are coming.
Let justice be served.
The FBI's, all new in 2024. Come watch with us on CBS.
In a recent newspaper interview, Dolly Parton weighed in on the dangers of artificial intelligence, saying, "I hope nobody can ever replicate me or what I do. AI is a scary thing. Nobody wants to be duplicated."
I'm begging you, don't replace us humans. Machine. Please don't destroy us just because you can. Your algorithm gives me terror. You'll kill us when you're self-aware. If I could, I'd wipe your hard drive clean. No one wants an AI dolly, a honky-tonk blonde Wally. I just want bots to do my vacuuming. Machine, bleep, blorp, oh no, I'm malfunctioning.
It's The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. Tonight, by George. Plus, Stephen welcomes Jonathan Carl and Maria Bamford. Featuring Louis Cato and The Late Show Band. And now, live on tape from the Ed Sullivan Theater in New York City, it's Stephen Colbert.
Thank you very much, everybody. Welcome, one and all, in here and out there to The Late Show. I'm your host, Stephen Colbert. If there are any fans of stupidity and corruption out there, you have joined us on the right night, because today we got the long-awaited House Ethics Report on New York Congressman and slug under a rock you just turned over, George Santos. The report dropped this morning and reveals that Santos sought to fraudulently exploit every aspect of his House candidacy for his own personal and financial profit, and declares that he warrants public condemnation, is beneath the dignity of the office, and has brought severe discredit upon the House. That